live.
Hey!
Hi, everyone.
How's everybody?
Oh, welcome to the White Hatter Live Show. We got a fairly filled show today.
No gremlins. We didn't have any gremlins this time.
No. Thank you, Citrine, for pointing out that there were no issues in the title card. So
I'm a little
Potterhead, sorry.
I'm a little casual today too. I decided not to wear a tie. I feel a little weird. But
I didn't get the memo.
I know, but you know what? I just thought I'd change it up a little bit. But next time I'll be wearing my tie for sure.
All right.
Really good show today, dude.
Yeah.
But before we get going, I think you wanted to share some things that we've received over the past couple of weeks, right?
I do. Yeah. It's kind of there's a couple things I want to go because we go to schools all over, and a lot of schools have like cups or mugs
or shirts.
Yeah. And we just like to. I think we're going to start kind of showing off some of the school merch that we get.
Some people may see some of the upline, like that's where we kind of put it is up above there, but we got some new stuff, right?
Yeah, we got some new stuff. We got, this is one that you got from Muckleshoot. See, look at that one.
Look at that. Ooh, that's very nice. Oh, downward camera. I like that.
The camera's been there the entire time, just haven't found a use for it.
I know. Pretty cool, though, right? Pretty cool. What else do we got?
We got that one.
From Muckleshoot. Yeah, Muckleshoot. Yeah.
There's another one that you got from, where was this one from?
This is from the Titans. Oh, I love this one. Look at that. Oh, very nice. Can you do this? Oh, top down. I kind of like that. And it's one of those thermos runs, right? Where it's really, really nice, right? Kind of nice. Yeah. What else do we get?
And then this one was given to you from Cal, another one of our White Hat team members.
Yes. He gave it to me for my birthday.
Yeah, we did.
He did.
And this is special about this one is that it says Vancouver Police on that one.
It's kind of funny because I remember you met with Cal in Vancouver when he gave that to you to give to me, and he asked you how old I was, and you said I was
older than what you actually are.
Yeah, you said I was 57, man. Like I'm only 54. Like what's that all about? Anyways,
sorry.
So
thank you, Cal, for that.
Yeah, thanks,
we'll add these up on top.
Yeah, we will.
And then this one wasn't given to us by a school or anyone, but Candace, our director of social media, who is in the background managing all the comments. She likes to go thrifting.
Yes, she does.
And
let's just say she likes to spend money. Yeah, she just likes to spend money.
As she's squeaking in the background.
Yeah.
She found this one for only 75 cents, Candace?
Yeah.
75 cents. This is it's a mug with a bluebird on it with a hashtag.
Looks like a Twitter.
It looks like a Twitter. I'm actually going to drink, see I got some water in this one.
Is that called a pound sign?
It's a hashtag.
I know, I'm just joking.
So I'm actually going to drink out of this mug today because I think it is just so cool with the hashtag handle.
Yeah. Let's put some of these away here. There you go.
Wonderful.
I'm gonna keep my White Hatter mug that I got going on here. But good show today. We got a good show. But before we get going, how can people connect with us?
So as always, we love engaging with you, and please leave comments down below, and we love getting in that conversation. So leave a comment in the YouTube comment section. You can message us on Twitter or even send us a private message on Facebook or Instagram. We love to interact and just talk with all of you here on the show.
And they're already coming in. Like we got a shout out here from Supreme God. This man came to school in Loon Lake. Yeah,
we were just there.
We were just there. We're actually going to talk about that in a couple of seconds with some pictures. And from Harleen. Harleen says hi. And Liam Queen. Hey, how you doing? 21. Hey, how you doing? Why don't we were in Loon Lake, right?
We were, yeah. So we were in Saskatchewan, for those of you who don't know where it is. And we stayed at this wonderful farm.
Yeah, the Schaefer family farm. They decided rather than staying in a hotel, they offered us a guest house that they had on their farm, and their farm is like 8,000 acres. Like it's huge,
like right here.
I mean, it's just beautiful property. And again, it was the Schaefer family, and her husband and her 3 daughters had to stay in their guest house there, and they gave us a tour of their farm.
They did,
and like we've never been on a farm before ever. And
I mean, we have farms here in BC, but they're tiny compared to this farm.
They're like plots, right? Compared to what we saw in Saskatchewan. Like this was the amount of respect that I have for farmers now after going to this property and seeing what it is that they do there. Unbelievable, right? And he primarily grows canola, and it was kind of cool. Primarily,
and wheat,
and some wheat, and some basic corn. I think he said, right? But basically, but we had his wife gave us a great tour of their farm and showed us some of the equipment, and we got a picture of these tractors. I mean, they were like,
look at this,
huge. Look at these things, right? Like, I mean, the one up in the left-hand corner, it had 8 tires on it, and it pulls this cedar. I mean, overall, it was like half a city block arc length, and I mean, it's just unbelievable. Right?
I like how the driver was telling us how they actually use GPS.
Yeah.
Because to get straight lines, they need GPS, and then
like they just sit in there. They got like an iPad in there, a GPS. They plot it in, basically does itself. I mean, how cool is that? And huge. I mean, I was standing next to one of the harvesters, and this thing, you looked up and went, oh my God! They when you see these things on TV, they don't give them justice about the size of these things, right? But big shout out to the Schaefer family and for hosting us there on their property. We had such a good time with them, and they even fed us that one night. They gave us some of those smoked ribs. They were good. They were good, right? They were good. So
we had a blast up in this month there.
Yeah, we did. Hey, Peyton, hey, how you doing, buddy?
Hey.
Nice for the shout out. So why don't we get into it?
Yeah, so we just published a new blog on our website, which you wrote. So it's on our Facebook page and on our blog right now. We just released it yesterday. And this one is about the terms of service for broadband cellular internet providers.
Yeah, we were driving in Vancouver and we saw this bulletin board, and when I saw it, I went, it got me thinking, right? And again, basically what we say in the blog is that I give a real shout out to these ISPs, both cellular and broadband, that do a lot of public service stuff, right? Where they put a lot of money into dealing with the anti-bullying and prevention and that kind of stuff. But you know what? I think they also need to start looking internally as well, because what was really interesting is when you read all their terms of service on all these cellular and broadband companies, they basically have a terms of service that says that thou shalt not use their service for the purpose of cyberbullying and doing other bad stuff. And so as a result of that, last year I was able to connect with 2 cellular companies over 2 cases I was involved in to report that somebody was using it, because it's quite clear in their terms of service that one of the options that they have is to axe the service, right? Like cancel it, because they're in a clear violation. So I notified these 2 internet service providers, both cellular in nature, and I couldn't get anybody, right? And I asked for somebody to connect with me so I could report it, and it never happened, which is interesting to me, because you know what? When we get contacted by families over things being said in Instagram or Facebook and some of the other social networks that everybody's using that are inappropriate, all of them have an appropriate reporting procedure. And very recently, over the past couple of years, they're doing a pretty good job. Like when something's reported and it's a clear violation of their terms of service, they usually give a warning, if not delete it immediately off of their social network. Well, why shouldn't cellular providers who are making billions of dollars right now in Canada start doing that as well? So not only are they doing the feel-good stuff, which is doing the community services work and funding anti-bullying messages and stuff, but maybe start looking at doing what they're doing internally under their terms of service and kind of binding it together as one package, right? Like, it's so important, I think.
Makes sense. I mean, if you purchase or if you have a device, and if the rules of the cellular connection say that if you use that device inappropriately, that there can be consequences.
And it's not so much the device; it's the network that's being used on the device, right? Because it's the network that is broadcasting it, right? Now, I've heard some of these cellular providers say, you know what? Well, that's a Facebook or an Instagram or a Snapchat problem. Well, yes and no. They're kind of a party to the offense if you think about it, because they're the ones that the kids are using to transmit the information via those. And it's clear on their terms of service, all of them that I read, that it's a clear violation. And as a result of that, they have a procedure in place there that says, they can be warned, or they could even have their service canceled. Well, here I am, I'm trying to report it and I can't do it. And
Interesting.
We wrote an article on this about 3 years ago, and we put out a challenge to any of the internet service providers. Hey, listen, if you want to work with us, we're more than happy to do it. And we haven't had anybody connect with us.
Interesting. It was a fantastic read when I was editing it and posting it online, and I think this is something that we'll probably look into further down the road.
I agree. And you can ask yourself why, right? Like we go, well, why wouldn't they do that? And the only thing that I could think about was because, if they cancel somebody's service, they lose a customer, and it's all about customer retention because it's all about money because they're a for-profit company.
Because they can just go to a different provider.
Exactly, right? But still, I mean, if we're all going to deal with this, we should be dealing with it as a community, because it takes a village, as a presidential candidate a couple of years ago in the United States wrote in a book, right? So And,
So I mean, interesting. Go ahead and read it. Let us know your ideas on this. Do you think that if someone violates the terms of their cellular connection by using it aggressively, targeting someone, that they should have their device connection removed?
Yeah, I agree.
Let us know.
Let us know.
We got a couple questions coming in right now. We have Life of Potterhead has asked us, how many interventions have you done now?
195. Yeah, 195.
Yeah, we'll be doing a post tomorrow, kind of talking about some of the more recent ones. So look for that post tomorrow. We have Harleen. How many members are in the White Hatter team?
Well, let's see. There's you, there's me, there's Candace, there's Beth, there's Shannon, there's Cal, there's Julia. So that's 8.
Yeah, about 8 members.
And
Hervé.
And Hervé,
Sorry, Hervé.
there's 9.
Sorry.
Hervé, 9.
Sorry.
And Chris Spargo as well,
Spargo.
right, who does the other thing. So we got about 10 people that work with us right now, right, which is kind of cool as a company. We're slowly growing and love what it is that we do and how we do it and why we do it, as I like to say. Yeah.
Lamb McQueen.
Yeah.
Great name. Where are your white hats? We have one right there. We don't normally wear the white hat. Oh, he has a pin.
All right.
And I have a hat.
Right
it's over here, but this is for after the show because I have all the entries from our Instagram poll. So our hats, we have them, but we just don't wear them. Plus, they get kind of big on camera.
They take up too much screen time.
Yeah.
Especially if somebody's wearing a hat the size of my head, right? Like I got a huge cranium.
Anyways, thank you for the questions, everyone.
You bet.
We have another resource that we're going to be publishing right after the show.
I'm really excited about this one. I really am. It's a public service that we've created because of, we've been traveling, just over 455,000 teens now from across Canada, the United States, and we hear consistently now over the past couple of years how really annoyed students are getting now of people asking them for nudes, right? And it's usually somebody from the school, but sometimes it can be a stranger, but it's usually a peer of some type.
Yeah.
And they're getting really frustrated over it, right? And so they've been, what should we do and that kind of stuff. So we came up with this idea, well, why don't we create somewhat of a digital fix to help students deal with this?
Yeah, this is something that we worked throughout our entire team because we were brainstorming, and then we had Hervé, who does a lot of our artwork, fantastic artwork. And so what we now have as a resource is that if someone is asking you for a nude, how about just send them this as a response? Right
we
there.
Love this. No, it's rude to ask for a nude. One of the things that I've been saying, as a lot of people may not know, we used to teach women's safety and self-defense as well as a company, and we always said that no is a complete sentence and there's no room for negotiation. So that's why we like the no, it's rude to ask for a nude, because it sends a clear message, there is no room for negotiation here. But the second most important message on that graphic is the warning, I've screen captured your message as evidence if needed. Why? Because that sends a clear message to that person who just sent that. Like, listen, number one, I don't appreciate it because it's rude to ask for a nude. And number two, if you do it again, I've screen captured what you've done, and now that could potentially be used as evidence for the police or even for an internal school issue if it was being done during school hours. And so we just think it's a really good initiative that people can download this onto their phone and keep it in their photo album. So if they receive these messages from people, no matter what platform, well, then they can hit them with this. And people can download this, right? How can they download it? You've done a really good job on it.
There is a web link right at the bottom, or we also have a QR code that we will probably be putting in like a poster that schools can use, where you can just turn your camera on your phone, take a picture, and then download the image. So then when someone sends you a request for a nude, you can send back instantly this image and tell them that, hey, I've screen captured what you said, and no, I am not sending you this image.
And we're going to be posting this on our Facebook, onto our Twitter, and onto Instagram with a link so people can download that, right?
Right after the show.
Right after the show, right? Which is, I think, is really, really important. Again, I'm really excited about this. It's free. It costs you nothing to download, and you can go right to our site and the links. And what's even more important is teachers and counselors who may be watching. Brandon later this week will be putting a PDF onto the website, right?
Yeah, we're going to create like a poster for schools they can download to post, so people can download this resource.
And we're going to add this right into our slide deck in our presentations now, right? So when we're doing presentations, because we get the kids to pull out their phones and do some really cool stuff.
At the high schools, yeah.
Yeah, do some really cool, and the middle schools when I'm doing the middle schools. So they're going to be able to pull their phones out and capture that QR code right in and immediately download it onto their phones in our presentation. So we're really excited about this initiative. I think it's just another step in helping to deal with the non-consensual. Again, there's a difference between non-consensual and consensual and stuff when we talk about that, and that could be a whole topic on and of itself. But for these messages that are coming in that are just random, and people just these young people and even adults asking for these nudes when they shouldn't be, well then here's a tool in the toolbox that we can use, right?
A couple more questions coming in. We have Argon, who says, "Hi, Darren Brandon."
Hey, hey, how you doing?
Lama Queen again asked us, "How many schools have you gone to?" We usually do a count at the end of every season.
We're pushing 500.
We're getting. We'll run the numbers when we finish in about 4 weeks now, when schools kind of settle down. But yeah, we're getting close to, I think, 500.
I think we're 500, and we're getting really close to the 500,000 mark on students, right?
We're
getting really close.
We'll crunch the numbers here in a bit. And then we have another question. Harleen, do you also go to schools in America or only Canada?
Yes, we do. Yeah, both Brandon and I, we have American visas. And so right now, it's primarily me going into the U.S. Brandon just got his American visa, so we're now going to be able to go down there with Brandon to teach the elementary and intermediate programs. But we love going down to the U.S. We're down there quite a bit, sharing our message. And what's really interesting about our message is it doesn't recognize any kind of international boundary, right? It crosses all international boundaries, because the internet, that's why we call it the internet. It's a world wide web, right? So, and that's what's really cool about our message. So yeah, we do love going down into the United States.
Thank you for the question.
Yeah, so again, how can people connect with us?
They can connect with us on our main platforms. Leave a comment, question down below. We'd love to hear from you. Again, leave a comment, message us on Twitter, Facebook, you name it.
And don't forget to hit that subscribe button and a little bell where it goes ding, right? I had to do that.
It doesn't actually go ding, but yeah.
Well, does it?
Well, no.
Ding! Right? Kind of. And they can message us on Facebook and Instagram as well. Right? And if you need to talk to me privately rather than publicly on chat here on the show, right? You can connect with us right on Instagram and Facebook.
One more resource I want to just share with everyone, because it is coming to the end of school soon. Exciting.
Yeah, it is.
And we actually have a scholarship available for a grade 12
Say it isn't so.
We do. So,
and we did that last year, right? We gave out our first scholarship last year.
We did. So it's a scholarship. There's a quick little essay. Topic this year is on how do you leverage or use social media to your advantage.
Yeah.
We'll send it to us. We'll read them, we'll evaluate them, and we'll give out a scholarship for $1,000.
Woohoo! It might buy them one book at university, right? $1,000. I mean,
at least it's one book,
maybe
right?
A couple books, right?
I don't know, something like that.
But every little bit helps.
It does.
Every little bit helps,
it does.
right?
So if you're a grade 12 student who's heard us speak, please submit a quick essay to us, and you might get $1,000 in return.
It's $1,000, right? Whitehatter.ca/scholarship, right?
Yep.
That's what
it's on our front page too.
Yeah, for sure.
Cool.
Yeah. What else we got going?
Well, now we're going to go into the segment where we're going to talk about some news stories that have come up recently since the last show.
Yep.
So first news story that we want to talk about, in the news, yes. The first topic that we're going to talk about is this one.
Yes. This one is one that I found. It's somewhat interesting, because the choking challenge was kind of really hit the headlines a couple of years ago, and we still talk about this in all our presentations. And there were some out there who said, "Oh, Darren, this choking challenge, it's old, it's passé, it's not really around anymore." Well, guess what? Here's another one. Over the past 5 months, we've had 3 deaths now of teens as a result of this challenge, right? Where what they will do is they will choke one another to a point where they get very euphoric and pass out. And some of them will video record it and put it on YouTube. It looks really, really funny. But there's a significant risk of serious injury and even death associated with this challenge. And and we need to get that word out there as a result of that. And so I think it's really important that we speak to these issues, and we continue to speak to these issues in our presentation regulations. Although, like I said, some say that these things are dead, they're old. No, they're not. Kind of like the Momo challenge that happened 2 years ago and then it resurfaced. Well, this thing, it's been around. I think over the past 8 years, we've had close to 5,000 young people internationally seriously injured or lose their lives as a result of this challenge. And so it's something that kids and we adults need to be aware of, is that, by doing this challenge, there's a real risk of brain injury and or death associated with it.
Yeah.
So my heart and our company's heart goes out to the families who've lost these 3 teens over the past 5 months.
Certainly.
Yeah. What's the next one we got going on?
Next topic. This topic made the headlines in Canada not that long ago.
Oh, yeah.
Pretty prominent talking point of recent. This one here.
Oh.
This is something we speak to in all our presentations, where there was a Canadian individual who is a current lawyer. Traveling into Canada.
Yep.
From a trip. I don't know where they came from. I think it was the United States.
No, I think it was over in Europe somewhere or something.
So they're coming back into Canada. They were stopped by a Canadian border guard and asked to hand over their phone to be searched. His password protected, all that stuff. He was a lawyer, so he said lawyer-client privilege, all that stuff.
No, the laws at the border give Border Patrol the ability to take any device and get into it. And if it's locked, you have to unlock it for them. They have to go in. And if you don't, they can seize it. And that's exactly what happened.
It's a huge debate internationally. I know Europe has its own laws in regards to fines for people who don't provide passwords to devices. The United States as well. Now, the Canadian Border Guard, so the CBSA, the people who monitor and staff the Canadian border, they have general guidelines saying that they don't typically do this type of stuff.
Yeah, they're looking for specific indicators before they do it, depending upon where the person's been, where they're traveling, backgrounds, all that kind of stuff. And I think this person came from a country that was kind of under watch right now, and I think that may be what have triggered it. But again, not only is it Canadian border guards, but I think this is also important to know for Canadians who are traveling to the United States that the U.S. Border Patrol has the same ability, that if you're crossing into the U.S., they have the right to ask you if you have any kind of digital device, including cell phones. And if you do, you have to turn it over. And if you don't, and they find it, some bad things could happen.
Yeah.
Right?
Well, a great story that kind of melds very nicely with this is that, again, this month, there was a report published by the EFF, which is the Electronic Freedom Frontier. And they're an internet rights advocacy group. Yeah. They do wonderful work in terms of security and privacy. Yeah. And right now, they're kind of in the argument with the United States Border Guard saying, well, you know what, maybe there should be some privacy when crossing a border. And there's different lawsuits going on, and they published this report talking about, they've gotten some under oath border guards saying that yes, they can and they do search through devices, even ones that are password protected. So it's a huge debate right now because as it stands, borders are kind of, they don't quite fall under the domestic legal system.
They have their own statute that they can enforce outside of the criminal code and the charter, right?
Yeah.
Which is really important. But I think the important message for Canadians is that if you're traveling either into the U.S. or back into Canada, border guards have the right to take your device, ask to get into it, and ask you to unlock it. And if you don't, there could be consequences.
Will it likely happen? It's not likely, but it is a possibility.
It could.
It's a possibility.
Yeah, it could. So which brings up another, if you're traveling outside of the country, maybe get a throwaway phone instead, right? Rather than bring your own phone, right? Or just get a chip, take the chip out, and when you go in, get a chip in the U.S.
There's a lot of businesses that are very security focused where before employees travel with devices, that devices get wiped. Yeah. They travel into the country and then they upload the data once they're inside the country instead of traveling across. So, I mean, that's at the extreme level, but there are some companies and organizations that have those policies.
For sure. But again, I think for Canadians, especially kids, teens and that kind of stuff are traveling with their devices. Yeah. Some of the pictures that they have on their phones, right? So, and some of those pictures could trigger some significant legal issues at the border. So these are things that they need to be aware of for sure. Yeah. And parents as well, all right? Because to be quite honest, I see some parents doing things with their phones way worse than what kids do, right? So let's be honest about that. So what else we got going?
This was a news story that kind of reached across international lines. This is one in regards to Instagram. I mean, we love Instagram.
Yeah.
This is a story talking about how Instagram is changing the way likes are being presented on pictures.
Now, why are they doing that?
There's a couple reasons why they're saying that. It's the biggest sort of push for this is to kind of decrease the like culture,
Right.
where people are consistently trying to get more and more and more and more likes.
Yeah.
Where if the public can't see your likes, well, then maybe that will reduce that culture a bit.
Now, correct me if I'm wrong, although the public may not be able to see how many likes you have, the owner of the account will still be able to see their likes.
Yeah, so I think it's still currently in the beta stage.
Right.
So some people have this, some people don't, and we'll see how effective this is.
But at least they're trying something, right? I mean, it's trying to...
It's a good social experiment.
Yeah, for sure.
Oh, yeah.
For sure. So, interesting, for sure. Yeah. What's the next one we got going?
Another story, this was an interesting one that you brought up. This one here in regards to Fortnite.
Yeah, this is an interesting one, right? Fortnite is probably the #1 game presently being played by teens throughout the world.
Well, I mean, there's some competitors now.
There is, for sure. But I still think Fortnite is probably one of the more popular ones. And so as a result of that now, we're seeing a type of bullying taking place in Fortnite surrounding the skins. And what's a skin, Brandon?
Well, I mean, it's a character costume.
Yeah, it's a costume, right? And so what they're finding is that people who just wear the costumes or the skin that come with the game, they're being bullied by others in the game saying, well, you know what? You need to buy a skin here so that you can fit in with the gang, right? And the crew. And if you don't, we're going to kind of ostracize you.
Right.
So it's almost as if teens are being pressured now to pay money in order to buy these skins. So it's a form of social economic type of bullying that's now taking place within some of these video games, right? Which is very interesting to see that going on. It would be really interesting for any of the teens that are following us right now that play on Fortnite, if you've kind of experienced this, right?
Yeah.
Where you've had people say to you, hey, listen, you know what? If you want to continue to play in this game with us, then you got to pay for a skin and stuff. So it'd be really kind of interesting to hear from our followers what they're seeing on that. So
Yeah, let us know your thoughts. Leave a message in the comments section. We'd love to hear it.
Yeah, and if you know what, if you don't want to message us publicly here on the show right now, you can get a hold of us on Instagram and on Facebook privately in our private messaging and stuff. So, but it's very interesting to see how this type of socioeconomic bullying or pressure is now taking place in some of these online games like Fortnite.
Yeah. We'll see how that turns out. It makes sense why it's happening. It's just the social version of online kind of interaction. We have some comments coming in.
Oh, yeah.
Life of Potterhead said, I'm wearing the White Hatter swag right now. They actually won Life of Potterhead actually won one of our giveaways on the live show. So thanks for supporting the team.
Yeah.
We have another one.
Harleen, what's White Hatter swag?
What's White Hatter swag? Well, White Hatter swag is, it's our wristbands. We have some pens, which are over there, right by that, above that laptop. And we actually, only in the live show currently, we actually give away large White Hatter stickers. And we have some small stickers too. So, every month before the live show, we do a poll on Instagram, and we ask our followers, answer the poll, give us your response, tag a friend, and then you get entered for the draw. And then we contact you after the show when we pull it from the hat.
And we send the swag for free. It costs you nothing. We send it to you. Kind of cool, right? As our way of saying thank you for participating in what it is that we're doing right now, right?
Yeah.
We love engagement, so we really do. And
Next topic.
Yeah. Ooh,
Breach watch.
that was a nice graphic.
Like the
little
flames?
going on there and that kind of stuff. That was kind of cool.
Breach watch. So we're going to talk about some data breaches, some things to be concerned about with security online. And the first one I want to talk about is this is a topical one. You may have heard about government elections being hacked.
Yeah.
Well, now we're seeing it happening at high schools. I got a chuckle out of this one simply because of the whole elections, U.S., Canadian issues, hacking and vulnerabilities. So, It's someone who exploited weak passwords. I'll pull it up here on the big screen.
And we're actually not just this, right? Like we've been to 3 schools now. We were at another high school where a group of teens hacked into the district, into the school computer system for the purpose of changing letter grades on reporting cards. We were at another high school where a group of grade 9 boys hacked into the district Wi-Fi and knocked it off the grid. We were at another school where a group of, and it's always the grade 9 boys for some reason. The grade 9 boys hacked into all the school computers and were using all the computers to mine cryptocurrency online. It's like holy crow, right? Like these teens are getting good at coding and that kind of stuff.
Oh, yeah.
But again, if you do it for a malicious purpose, there could be consequences. And laws in Canada have definitely caught up to some of those consequences. And you could face potential criminal arrest, right?
Yeah.
So.
Anyway, I just thought that was an interesting story to bring up.
Yeah, they're good, right? If they love a challenge, and let's remember what it was like when we were in high school. Me a lot longer than you, but somebody said don't do it. What's the first thing we did? We did it. Right? And the kind of teens are no different. But I mean, with that comes consequences. There's always consequences to actions, and be it positive or negative. So, yeah.
Now, news story. This one here, you may have heard it if you're a Facebook user. If not, that's okay. This was another Facebook oopsie. Where apparently something had happened with Facebook where they were trying to verify people's identities. And in that process, they asked for access into their personal email account by providing their email address and password to their actual email address. So big oopsie on Facebook's part, one of many in their history. And data was downloaded from their accounts when they logged in.
A lot of pressure on Facebook right now.
I think what I want to share with this one is just be cautious and be critical in terms of what people are asking you to log into. Even legitimate platforms like Facebook, Instagram, whatever, if they're asking you to log in or do something that you feel uncomfortable with, like logging in to your actual personal private email, just say no to that.
Trust your instincts, right? Your instincts are a million years of evolution that we've been given to stay safe. And if your instincts is telling you something's not right, something's not right. And so trust those instincts for sure. So great recommendation, which kind of ties into the whole issue of, how our accounts are being breached. And I think you found another really cool article about passwords. I still can't believe people are doing
this is a good one. Okay, so
holy cow.
So there have been a multitude of data breaches over the last 5+ years, right? In my phone, I get over 100 news sources that I scour every day, and it pulls out new information. And every day, I'm getting a news indication of a data breach on this website or that website, and it's like, okay, fine. Data breaches are part of society right now. And sometimes these data breaches, some hackers get access to account information, like usernames, like passwords, and they post them publicly on the internet.
And that's because people are using stupid passwords, right?
So some researchers have collected all these leaked passwords to build the most common passwords used.
Can you believe that? Can you believe that? Like, people are still using 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 as a password.
Oh boy!
Like, it's unbelievable.
Oh boy! Here's some more breakdown right here. So let's look at these. So
are you kidding me?
People use often. What do we have? So 23.2 million people use 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 7.7 million passwords have used. They've added only another three numbers. QWERTY, which is 3.8 million. I don't know if you can see that. So QWERTY, I'm going to use this top-down count. QWERTY is using this one, this one, this one, this one, this one. It spells QWERTY, right? Not a good password to use.
No.
If you have any of these passwords, please change them.
Okay, here's kind of what I say. This is what I share. I think you kind of do the same thing. Really, if you want to pick a really good, secure, encrypted password, pick a phrase. So I'm going to use the White Hatter. Pick something that has at least 6 letters in it. You could use Mary Had a Little Lamb if you want, right? So we're going to use the White Hatter. Then what I want everybody to do is capitalize the first letter in each one of those words. Once you've done that, take the 3 words or the phrase, squish it together, the one big word, and then replace any letter A's with the @ symbol and any letter E's with the number 3, and then end it with an exclamation mark. Extremely secure. Right? I mean, that's a good way to remember a really good password, that you're not going to remember. And then, if you're using Instagram, then add IG on the end of that, or Snapchat and SC or something like that, right? Where you just make it unique, but it's an easy way to pick a really secure, encrypted password that you're going to remember. Yeah. Right? So,
good password.
I mean, for those people who are using 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, like, you deserve to get what you get. Like, we've been pushing this message in the industry for years now, and it still surprises us that people are doing this, right? Yeah. So, what else?
Next segment in the live show, we're going to be latest tech projects.
Yeah, where we kind of recognize teens for what it is that they're doing in the digital world. I really, really, really love this part of the...
We love tech. We truly do.
But even more importantly, we love what teens and young adults are doing in the tech field, right? And how they're using tech in such a positive way. And that's one of the big messages I push in our parents' presentation, is that parents and older people, we have this sense that we kind of demonize the internet. We believe that these kids are up to all this horrible, evil mischief online, and no, they're not. I mean, the majority of them are doing really cool stuff online. A small percentage aren't, and we need to talk about them. But the majority of our kids are doing some really cool stuff online, and a really good example of this is this one right here, right? Where these 6 young women in Ontario from grades 10 to 12 created their own cybersecurity and competition team, where they're competing against other schools in the area of online cybersecurity competition. I mean, how cool is this? And what's even cooler is the fact that it's 6 young women. Because I think in the tech field, it's primarily been dominated by male gender individuals, right? Like it really has. And we need to start opening the door. And here's a really good example where these 10 young Canadian girls, women, not girls, women, have created this team and are competing, and apparently are going to potentially win the title. I mean, how cool is that, right? Oh, yeah. I mean, it's kind of like the grade 12 girl in Vancouver earlier this year who won a $10,000 scholarship for designing a tech app to get women involved in the tech industry. It is so cool to see how teens are leveraging social media to affect positive change, but more importantly, bring more women into the tech field.
It's just fabulous stuff. It truly is.
It is.
And we love seeing that type of stuff going on. So, I mean, if you're a student at a school and you're doing something amazing with technology, send us a message on social media, and we would love to showcase it here on the show to share just how amazing that you are.
Yeah, for sure. Hey, I just thought I'd see this. Look at this. Look at Trolga right above my head there. Look at the hair on Trolga right now. Is that kind of funny or what? It's kind of funny right there. Right there. There's Trolga right there. Anyways, we got a question for Luke Dela Cruz. Go ahead.
Hey, when are you guys going to make more tutorials on security?
Oh, that's a good one. That's what you're going to be.
I wasn't going to be announcing it really on this show, but I think next month.
Well, let's tease it.
As school is coming to an end in about 4 weeks for us, we will be spending the next little bit in the summertime producing more videos. What they will be are to be determined. If you have anything that you want us to make a video on, by all means, put a question, comment down below on something you would like us to provide you with a video on. I know Candace, our social media coordinator, is planning on having us do a react video to various TikToks.
What the hell's that? YouTube. TikTok, isn't that what you put in your mouth and suck on? Oh no, that's a TikTok.
You know what TikTok is.
Candace is laughing in my ear right now. She thought that one was kind of funny. It was kind of funny, right?
We'll do some more fun videos in the summertime and some tutorials. So we're really looking forward to it.
Whoa.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, we're going to do some really cool stuff coming up.
We have another question coming in, it looks like. Comment coming in from Llama Queen.
I'll read this one. The reason why I am saying they need more subscribers is because they are very nice and they help be safe on the internet.
Thank you.
You know what? You know what? We're gonna build our subscribers. It's like anything else. Like, tell your friends, tell your family. It's like anything else. You start slow.
It's small. We just started the channel not that long ago, and we do.
Yeah.
But we're passionate for what we do.
We are. We love what it is that we do, and I think, you know, I'm gonna kind of tease this a little bit. I think you're gonna move this show to once a week, aren't you?
Okay.
No.
We're planning on doing a weekly half-an-hour show.
Half hour though. Half hour. Yeah.
So we'll.
Yeah, well, I mean, we're teasing this, right? Like, we really think that this is just a really good way for us to get our message out to others. And we love having fun, as you can see. I kind of joked around with Brandon not too long ago. For those of you who are old enough to remember the Muppet Show, in the Muppet Show, they had these two people, old guys, that stood up and they kind of batted back and forth to one another. That's kind of like Brandon and I, but I'm the old guy, he's the young millennial and that kind of stuff, right? But we love sharing our message, and we love getting teens involved in our message. I mean, we would love to see way more interaction. I mean, there may come a point in time with technology where we may be able to beam you into a live event as well, so that we can talk to you face to face and other people can see you. Like, there's so many cool things that we can do.
Yeah.
And, you know, eventually we're going to have this channel grow. We know it takes perseverance, right? We're going to stick with it, and we're going to do, and we're really busy traveling. And you know, the next 3 weeks, Beth, who's the CEO of the company, she has got us working like a dog right now, but we love every minute of it. And the next 2 weeks, 3 weeks,
4 weeks for me.
We got a lot of schools that want presentations for the end of the school year, and you know what? We're getting a lot of. We've booked a ton already in the fall already. Like, it's just amazing how our message is getting out. And again, it's all because we love what we do, why we do it, and how we do it, right? And that's who we are as a team. And you know, we got some really cool things going on with Cal and Shannon, you know, where they're taking over the leveraging program right now, and we're really going to be pushing the leveraging social media to the high schools, grades 10s, 11s, and 12, because we do think that that's the next evolution. It's important to have a base of security and safety, which is primarily what we've done. But now let's take it up to the next level. Let's teach young people, and even adults now, how to use social media to leverage their position to get into a college, university, or even to get that job. And we've created a formula to help make that happen. And as a company, we're very unique with that formula, and we're really looking forward to it. Cal's already done a couple, Shannon's done one, and they've gone over very, very well. So for those teachers and adults that are listening to us right now, go to our website and have a look at the schools under schools tag, the leveraging social media program, and have a look at it. Yeah. And Llama Queen, you know, thanks. You're right. Just thanks for sharing what it is that you and getting our message out there, right? Like, we really appreciate it. So thank you, Llama Queen 21. So what else we got going on? Oh, this is another cool one.
This is
BC grown one. Oh no, this one is Canadian one, right? Yeah, this one is really interesting, where they're now using, you know, we hear all this discussion about how social media and social networks are causing all this emotional, psychological, and physical unhealth and that kind of stuff, which in fact we now know huge research out of Oxford University of the United States proved that it doesn't. So that could be a whole nother show. There's some issues that we need to be aware of, but this is a really interesting one, how now mental health care providers are actually using social media and gaming now to help with mental health challenges, right? What do you think about that?
I think it's fantastic. I think with technologies that we're able to do so many creative, new, innovative things to help in all areas of life. And I think this is just one great example on how using virtual environments to help with various types of therapies. Fantastic.
We've met some teens and even adults who are home-ridden because of mental, physical, or disabilities that they can't get out of the home. So social media now gives them that ability to connect socially with others, which helps them, right, from an emotional, psychological, physical standpoint, which is really cool. Yeah, there's some issues that we need to be aware of, where overuse of it, right, can create some challenges. But it's so cool to see how now even the experts are now turning to social media to a degree to help deal with emotional and psychological challenges. Right? So, hey, Izzy in the chat. Hey, thanks for joining, because I heard Llama Queen brought you into the discussion. I mean, how cool is that via link? So thank you for joining us. Really appreciate that.
Thank you.
But we have another shout out for a group of, actually a school district here in British Columbia, right?
Right here.
Yeah, the West Vancouver School District. This is the first ever League of Legends inter-school competition where they got schools, different schools in their district together and had an online gaming competition with one another for a trophy, you know, to win the rights and that kind of, which is a big deal because right now online gaming is, they're expected online gaming to rival the NFL when it comes to money-making ventures. Like,
it's going to happen.
It already is happening. You know what? There were over 200 universities in the United States last year who gave out e-gaming scholarships, right? Like just like they have football scholarships and basketball scholarships, they now have e-gaming scholarships. We now know of universities, including University of British Columbia, that are now giving out e-gaming scholarships for that reason, right? And they now have they have university programs. You can see how excited I am. I wish I was going back to university. They now have 4-year university degree programs now on how to design e-gaming. I mean, how cool is that, right? So
it's not only e-gaming; it's just gaming.
Yeah, and you know, so for parents and adults who look at kids and go, you know, you got to stop playing video games; it's going to rot your brain. Well, maybe not. Maybe it's going to pay for my education and make me extremely wealthy. But we do need to be aware of something that's called gaming disorder, right?
Yeah, sure. There is a small proportion, very small proportion of like anything else in the world and the internet. There's a whole bunch of good stuff. Yeah, sure. There's maybe 1 or 2 rare case studies where something bad happens or something less desirable goes on. Yeah.
So basically, what I say in the gaming disorder side of things is, you know, we love gaming, right? I love tanks right now. Anyways,
World of Tanks.
I'm just caught in that. But anyways, you know what? If you're gaming to the point where it's affecting you in a negative way, emotionally, psychologically, physically, or socially, then it's not good for you. So it's all about balance, right? So if you can find the balance, I mean, there's so many cool things that are going on right now, and we adults need to start acknowledging that fact more.
Yeah.
You know, I kind of say this a little bit, you know, adults, you know, I remember in the 1930s, it was radio. Radio was going to cause all these bad things to kids. And then all of a sudden, from there, it went to, in the 40s and 50s, it was comic books, right? And believe it or not, there were psychologists and psychiatrists in the 40s and 50s who believed that comic books were going to cause homosexuality. Like, can you believe that? Like, unbelievable. And then in the 50s and 60s, it was television. And then in the 80s, it was Pong, Atari. Do you kind of remember that?
Pong, yes.
Yeah, and a little game.
We have a retro gaming system over there.
We do, right over there, right?
It's above your head.
Right over there, right there kind of thing. Yeah. And then now it's cell phones and gaming, right? But yet, if you look at the really good peer-reviewed research out there, the evidence-based stuff, it's not really causing the concerns a lot of people think it is.
Yeah.
So, but it's really cool again to see how West Vancouver School District has embraced this thing called gaming and robotics and all these other cool things, and getting youth involved in that, because like it or not, that is the future, and I believe they're best preparing their students for the future employment opportunities out there, right?
Yeah.
Right? Oh, a couple of messages. Liam Keane, when will your next show be? Sorry for so much questions. I'm just a very talkative person.
We like it. We love the engagement. That's why we're here. That's why we're here on a Sunday live streaming.
Yeah. And so when's our next show?
We're going to announce it at the end of this show.
So stick with us.
It's going to be on a special day.
Yeah. And Hike Player 3. Oh, this one kind of, wow. I love you. You helped me not to commit suicide, and I'm very thankful. Wow. You know what, Hike Player 3, don't know who you are, don't know where you're from, but we are so happy that our message resonated enough with you that, you know what, that you're still here. It's because, like we say in our presentations, it gets better. It really does.
It truly does.
It really does get better. It's just that.
And there's resources there.
There's resources there for help, and you know, we're a part of that resource. And never in our wildest dreams, when I first started this company, before you even got involved, did we ever think that our company would become an outreach for youth who could reach out to us because they were considering self-harm or suicide as an option? but it has. And we're so honored that we can play an active role in getting young people and even some adults who've now connected with us to understand that it gets better. Because you know what, hike player number 3, don't know who you are, but you could be the next Prime Minister of Canada, or if you're in the United States, you could be the next US President of the United States. You just don't know. And young people, they live for the here and now. They're not necessarily thinking about the future. And so that's why we share the stories that we do, to get them to understand or get them to think about that it does get better and that there is a future and there are places out there to reach out to you, and we will listen to you, right? We really will. So yeah. Just some drawings. What's that one? That's a question. I guess you guys are good for kids who don't know about this stuff, but it's the parents' job to tell their kids about this stuff. Yeah! You know what? I love that message. You know what?
Oh, wow.
Parental abdication on this issue is huge.
It truly is.
And you know what? We parents need to start being our kids' best parent and not their best friends all the time on this, right? And so a part of that, those parents need to be educated themselves. So
that's an issue.
It's a huge issue. I mean, you know, we were at a school of 1,300 students and 4 parents showed up to the presentation. Well, it's no wonder. And you know what? Parents are also role models of these kids, to our kids. And we find a lot of parents are not being good digital citizens themselves. So if parents aren't being good digital citizens, then how can our kids be? And, you know, I'm passionate about this, as you can see. You know what? Our schools are doing their part. The kids, the teens, the young adults are doing their part. We parents need to start doing our part. So just some drawings, is that the handle, Candace, that they were using? Just some drawings?
That's their name, yeah.
You know what? It is such a fair comment and such right on target, right? What do you think?
That is, it's fantastic.
Yeah. I have a question. What is your favorite movie and what is your favorite food? From Josh. Okay, for me, my favorite food right now, chicken cordon bleu. And Candace, Brandon's partner, makes a killer chicken cordon bleu.
I believe you said it's the best you've ever eaten, and you've been to a lot of restaurants across North America.
I have, the best. My favorite movie, Above the Law. It's a Steven Seagal martial arts movie. I kind of love that movie. How about you? What's your favorite food?
Oh, favorite food? I mean, my favorite food, I like a good fettuccine Alfredo.
But you're a celiac, right?
Yes, I have a gluten allergy.
Let people know what a celiac is.
A celiac. For any of you who follow me on Twitter, Instagram, I post a lot about celiac and foods, which is kind of an issue because when I'm traveling for work, going to schools across North America, I have to make sure that the foods I eat has no gluten in it.
Right.
And it's my autoimmune. Not a good mix. Gluten to me, not mixed.
It could kill you, right?
If I continue eating gluten, yes.
Yeah.
So I don't eat gluten. Can't eat gluten. So for me, if there is a gluten-free Alfredo, fettuccine, fantastic. I make it at home all the time. Candace, again, she's a wonderful cook. She makes it all the time. So that's one of my favorite meals.
Yeah. And your favorite movie?
Favorite movie. Ooh, favorite movie. What movie do I like all the time?
You know what? Beth and I went to see John Wick 3 last night. OMG. OMG. Not a movie for young people because of the amount of violence that's in it, but holy moly. Anyways, what's your favorite movie?
I'm a fan of Edgar Wright stuff, so like Hot Fuzz, Shaun of the Dead.
Hey, I went and saw the new Avengers movie as well.
I haven't yet.
Can I tell you about it?
No, I have not seen it yet. Okay, thank you.
It was good. 3 hours went by like that, right? So it was a really, really good movie. So. Yeah.
So let's get to, I think, the last segment, which, thank you all for, joining us for this just under an hour. I know it's, thanks for joining us on what is a nice break from the beauty channels of YouTube. See, Supreme God had dropped the name James Charles.
Who's James Charles?
Okay, Candace, our social media director, she is very much, and my spouse, my partner, we have watched all the videos around. I won't take a side on Tadia or James Charles. I won't
This is like a PewDiePie guy?
No, actually, you know what? PewDiePie did a very good analysis of both sides of the argument. So,
Right.
I mean, anyways, so thank you all for joining us. Thank you, Supreme God, for, again, no matter where you go on YouTube, there's that controversy follows. So thank you for joining us. And I think we're going to get to our giveaway time.
Yeah, sure. Sounds good.
Giveaway?
Yeah, sounds good. Let's
Giveaway
do
time.
Giveaway time. Yeah. Whoa! Love those graphics every time. Love those graphics. Right? So what do we got?
All right. So this month, we asked our Instagram followers. Candace, what's the question again? Do you use TikTok? If so, why or why not?
And that's TikTok, not TikTok, right?
Yes.
Okay. Okay. Yeah.
So,
hey, Candace, is that where the whoa came from? Oh, I just think whoa, right? Is that a pretty good whoa? Do you think that's a good whoa?
I won't even try to attempt it.
How about this one? How about that?
I'm sure we'll do some video about that stuff.
Yeah.
Anyway, so we had quite a few entries.
But just before we go there, how about we answer this question from Joss 5? Brandon, remember when you went to Edith McDermott Elementary School, and after the thing with the 6s and the 7s, I came up and asked how long it takes for you to respond on Instagram this to me? Do you remember that?
Yeah, I mean, we
get hundreds of them.
We get loads
Thousands.
of messages on
Thousands.
Instagram, Facebook, on all of them. We usually get back to people within about 24, 48 hours, depending on what was happening. We usually don't let it go longer than that.
Yeah, for sure.
I mean, Instagram has a couple issues with its messaging. It's not necessarily the smoothest experience with messengers.
Yeah. Another question from Jaden Bennett. Isn't it also important to keep the best friend role as well as being a proper parent? You know what, Jaden? It's a good question, but I think what happens a lot of times is too many parents want to be their child's best friend rather than their best parent. I mean, it's important to be their best parent first as they're growing up. And then as they're getting older, then you become their best friends as well. But if you're constantly being your son or daughter's best friend all the time, well, then maybe you're not taking action. Because sometimes parents have got to say and do things that kids aren't going to like. And that's what being a good parent is all about. Where sometimes being a child's best friend, you may not say and do things that need to be said and done.
Yeah.
I mean, you know, I find, you know, like right now, I'm not really I'm your parent, I'm your dad, but really, I'm not treating you as a parent anymore, right? You're a young man, you're an adult, I'm now treating you more like a good friend, but you're still my son, right? But I'm not parenting anymore. So yeah, Jaden, there's both. I mean, you should be able to connect with your parent at any time and feel comfortable about doing that. But I do believe as an older person that there is a difference between being a good parent and being a good friend. Do you have any comments on that?
You said it all.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
You actually going to admit that?
Oh,
you
boy.
never admit things like that.
Here we go.
Holy crow, Candace, did
Moving
you just
on.
hear that?
Moving
I know,
on.
he said I was right. He never says that. Anyways, back on. Here we go, the draw.
All right, so we have quite a few
So
entries.
I'm going to do the drum roll.
Okay,
let's do
sure.
the drum. Here we
Go
go.
All right, and we got this one. All right, we got from Jacob on Instagram. And I use the app for a short period of time to collaborate and make funny videos we share with our friends. Wonderful. I mean, TikTok, there's a lot of creative stuff I see happening on TikTok.
Yeah, there is. Yeah, there is. It's kind of interesting. It's kind of, Candace said it's like the old, what was it, Candace? The Vine. Yeah, similar to Vine with the memes and that kind of stuff, but it's a modern version of it today, and you know a lot of teens are turning to it. I talk about it. You know, when I asked the school, how many of you are on TikTok, and I don't know how many of them are necessarily producing anything TikTok, but they're all going there to watch it.
Yeah,
for sure.
Or
right?
they're not admitting to it because TikTok has a cringe factor, or like people are on it, but they don't like to admit that they're on it.
Yeah, that's true as well. I
Like
mean,
me.
I'm not gonna lie to you. I do kind of stream through the TikToks every so
Yeah,
often.
you know what it is.
There's some funny ones that are going on there right now, right? So for sure, but it's very, very interesting. Another message just came in from Jaden Bennett, responding to the last. He says, "Yeah, you know, I know, but I grew up in foster care, so I kind of missed the part of someone actually being there to relate Totally get it, Jade, and you know, that's why we're here as well. You know, if you need to reach out and you need somebody to help you with a question that you may have, well, that's why we're here. You can connect with us on Instagram, on Facebook, via private messaging and stuff. We're here, and if we don't know the answer to a question, we know somebody who does, right? And then we'll make sure we get back to you as best as we can. I mean, we do a pretty good job, right?
We do the best we can. We're a small team, but we're a mighty team.
Yeah. Ooh, small but mighty. That's like a ship, a small and mighty ship. That's just like the USS Minnow on Gilligan's Island, right? Oh, another question. One last question. What is the most important job of White Hatter? From Josh V. Go for it.
I think our most important job is engaging with all of you.
Yeah, I would agree with that. It's education and engagement.
Yeah.
Right? Education and engagement combined with outreach.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Kind of all three together is kind of what we love doing. Yeah. And I've said it a couple times in the show already. We love what we do, how we do it, and why we do it. And you know, we have a team of 10 people now where we're spreading that message even farther. And we hope it's going to go national even further, right? Like that's our goal, is to keep growing what it is that we're doing, growing this channel. We got some really neat things coming up over the next little while.
Yeah.
So, but just a quick review again for those who are just tuning in at the end. Don't forget to go to our Facebook page, our Instagram page, our web page, where we've now downloaded right after the show. Candace, our social media logistics manager, is going to be posting a link to that new nudes graphic.
Yeah, to download.
So that you can download. So if people are sending you things that they're asking you to send nudes when they shouldn't be, you just post this to them and that kind of stuff. So don't forget to go there. So anything else you want to say?
No, we're coming up to the hour mark. I mean, thank you everyone for joining us. We'll respond to the winner of our draw and send along some of the White Hatter swag. The next show...
Look at the Trollga hair again. It's kind of funny.
The next show we will have on June 16th.
June 16th.
Which
people.
actually happens to be Father's Day.
Yay! Are you going to do anything for Father's Day?
I can't tell you now.
Why not?
Because it'd be a surprise.
But I'm your father.
Yeah.
Brandon. I'm your father.
So tune in at 1 o'clock on June 16th at the same time, same place, and we'll tell you new stories,
Same
new
back
events.
channel. I had to say that, right?
Yes, you had to say that.
I had to say that, yeah.
So thank you everyone for joining. We've reached the hour mark. Thank you so much for joining us. We really appreciate
thanks
it.
to Candace in the background who's monitoring all the questions and doing it and whispering in our ears and that kind of stuff. So thanks for her in the background, and thanks for everybody for tuning in. I had another good session today.
It's actually a really good show.
Yeah, it was a really good show, and we'll look.
No issues, I think.
What? No gremlins.
I know.
No gremlins. So on behalf of Darren
and Brandon, thank you everyone for joining us.
Have a great rest of the weekend, ladies and gentlemen. May long weekend. Enjoy it.